Welcome to the world of Colossal, a 5 games for Doomsday actual play podcast of a game by Nick Angel and played by Ben Maddox. I'm a strong man, not a coat to roll man. I'm a stone man, I don't dig up bones, man. Hello, welcome to Colossal. I'm a stone man. So that, for all you musos out there, will have noticed I was playing that in a drop C tuning. Been listening to a lot of, just gonna have a sip of my tea. Been listening to a lot of Deftones recently, and as they're a sort of turn of the century new metal band, they play a lot of drop C because it's the crunchiest, heaviest, deepest tone on the guitar. So I thought I'd tune my guitar to drop C there. Are you excited? Are you excited by that musical interlude? Are you thinking, wow, Ben, he's the greatest. He knows everything about the music and that. You know the thing we think about Ben when we think about Ben? What's that? We think that he's just a Renaissance man. He's covered in boils and he smells of shit. Anyway, welcome to Colossal. This is very exciting. So last time, excuse me, sip of tea. Very depressing. Because, so I'm in Germany. All the shops are closed on Sunday, right? And there's one particular shop that sells PG Tips tea bags. And because you don't want to drink the tea bags you get in the supermarket here because they're crappy. So I have to go to this one shop that sells PG Tips tea bags, but it's Sunday. And, you know, all the shops are shut. So I had some cups of tea this morning. And then I had to save the tea bags to use them a second time to make this cup of tea. It's actually all right, you know. I mean, I realise where I've been going wrong all these years. Just using tea bags for a oneer. That's what they want, big tea. That's what PG Tips wants. John? Yes, Mr. Tips. That'll be Peregrine Griffoman to you. Okay. Well, I think we should tell all the people they should use the tea bags only once. But you, Peregrine Griffoman, thank you. Well, you use the tea bags 99 times every time. Yes, but I'm not putting in profits for PG Tips. Why did you name the company after yourself? Because I'm incredibly narcissistic. Okay, there's a funny sketch about Peregrine Griffoman Tips. That's what I assume the PG stands for. Anyway, yeah, so I'm drinking recycled tea at the moment. And isn't it lovely? So, yeah, last time, poor old Jayne and that, he killed someone. Didn't murder, I was going to say he murdered them, but it wasn't premeditated. It wasn't a premeditated killing. It was just, you know, the bloke was going to kill Ronald Samphire III, wasn't he? And so he saved him. Do you like Ronald Samphire III as a character? I quite like him as a character. I think his bravado and posh English accent is quite fun, isn't it? And the other one, like the guard guy, he's a tertiary character at best. Will he pop up later? Who knows? Anyway, so yeah. So he killed someone and now they're heading back. And I guess this plane is going to be dispensed with. I don't see the plane being much of a factor, and they'll probably, well, it depends what I draw. This is the beauty of these games, you see. Depends what you draw. Whatever cards you draw. So I've been listening, because this is recorded the couple of days after the Queen died. So I've been listening to a lot of 50s broadcasts.
Hello. Welcome to the Curtain and Curtain Ring Society broadcast in 1953. We are very happy to welcome the coronation of the Queen, but what's slightly more important is that Benjamin Maddox I has started a radio broadcast in which every time he talks about curtains, drapes, and various drapery, the price in the stock exchange goes up 1 million pennies. And so we should continue to supply Ben Maddox I with oodles of curtain material. This is terrible, isn't it? And also Colin, yes. So would you take on yourself?
So, yeah, I've been listening to a lot of people speaking with those accents. It's absolutely wonderful. Anyway, so let's get on to it. You know, because I know these jokes. I knows what you wants, you see. I knows what you wants. I've been doing a play at the moment, and it's very stressful because it's getting towards the beginning of the show. And I was doing a play. I'm doing the play, so I go for a couple of drinks a couple of nights a week, just, you know, chill out. And I was in a pub the other day, and I heard this bloke, and he was talking to his mate, and he was like, oh, and I tell you what, oh, those cobalt veins, oh, I loves them. I can't get enough. I rubs me finger along them cobalt veins of that granite, and I tell you, I'm like a bloody Mike Carter. I'm not gonna lie to you. Oh, I'm standing straighter than a petrified tree, which is also very similar to stone in many ways. Anyway, I was listening to that podcast, and he talked about granite. It was very attractive. And then I wonders if this week he's going to sing a song. Do you know what I'd like? Because I'm Rodrigo the Stonemason, and my nickname is Stone Man. Well, that's what I calls myself. No one else calls it me. I asked me mum, and she told me to stop being a stupid beggar. But anyway, Stone Man. And you know what would really make me very aroused in a mineral capacity is if he wrote a song using the word Stone Man in it. I don't know whether he will, but I hope he does. Yes, thank you. Can you put 17 bottles of whiskey in my 97 pints of cider ice in the cider, please? Yeah, I don't care what whiskey it is, as long as it gets me buckle fuckoed. And so, you know, Rodrigo the Stonemason, now he's a guest on this podcast. Well, I had no choice but to, you know, grant his request. So if you've got requests for lyrics in the songs, Hot Castle Action or something like that, you know, get to the Hot Castle Action. You could have that on a t-shirt or something. And if you've got requests for songs, like lyrics you'd like me to put in, at 5games4doomsday, 5games4doomsday at gmail.com, just send me an email. I'll put them in the song for the next week. Maybe if I get enough of them, like that will be all the lyrics. You know what I mean? But Rodrigo's got his this week, Stoneman. Anyway, so I'm going to shuffle the cards. All right, that's done. Shuffled the cards there. Lovely. And then I'm going to draw them. Because I lost that fight, I've only got 4 Explore. 4 the Explorer. And, I'm just going to go on with it. Hot Castle Action. You're there thinking, fucking hell, Ben. Go on with the Hot Castle Action. Sat out in your garden. Fucking, I've been listening to this for 8 minutes now. Fucking crows. Hot Castle Action. Look at those fucking crows steal the apples from... Get out of it! Bloody my apples! I bloody planted that. Get out of it! I'm nicking your apples! If he doesn't start talking about Hot Castle Action in a minute, there's going to be some crow to pay. Anyway, so, first card. It's very exciting. That was nonsensical, wasn't it? Okay, so I've got all the shit up. I've got the book up and that. So, I've shuffled the card awards. We have the 6 of clubs. So if you remember, I say this every week, but red cards are organic things, people and creatures. Black cards are scenic things, structures and objects. 6 of clubs. You are caught in it. Oh, this is exciting. So you are caught in it. A trap, maybe a hunter's trap, a pit, or some old machinery. What do you do now? So I'm going to get off the plane, because we've been in the plane for ages. But I think they're going to get off the plane. Well, I'm just going to write, caught in a trap. Can look back. Cause I haven't seen that Elvis movie. I bet it's crap. I bet it's crap. I think he's overrated, Baz Luhrmann. I ain't going to watch it. I watched that Prey as well the other day, that Predator film. It was alright. It wasn't great. I had an email from famous podcaster Gabby Moraga of the Board Game Snob saying, you've got to watch Prey. And I watched it, it was all right. Anyway, so, Caught in a Trap. We'll see how that happens, that transpires. So, next card. 9 of spades. 9 of spades! The 9 of spades! All right, so let's have a look. 9 of spades. Oh, okay. So, something you were looking for. Okay, you come across a place that is key to your calling, maybe a building with a clue in it, or one of the locations you were looking for on your quest. Okay, so what's going to happen is going to find a small building constructed from the same stone, because remember, there's the weird... He's looking for the weird thing, isn't he? Same stone as the rook he's looking for. And inside is gonna be something cluey. There we go. Don't know what it's gonna be, but it's gonna be something cluey. That's the technical term for it. And then you go and spoil it all by saying something stupid like cluey. That's not a fucking word. Anyway, so next card. Oh, it's going to be a massive rook. There's going to be a massive rook. So King of Diamonds. Okay, so it's a massive rook. Let's have a look. So I need to construct the rook again. I'm going to flip forward in the thing, and you don't have to stay with me. So creating a rook. A massive rook is the size of a large house. You know what's going to happen, don't you? It's about time. The massive rook is going to be the rook he's looking for. Something cluey. It's not just something bloody cluey. It's the rook he's looking for. That's good. It's the rook he's looking for. He's going to bump into the rook he's looking for. I'm happy with that. That's exciting. One more card. I got to draw one more card. All right, so the 4 of Hearts. Okay, so it's someone who's trustworthy, and a person you meet asks you to find something for them. Maybe they've lost something or are too afraid to get it. Draw a card, check the item table to see how they reward you if you do this for them. Okay. All right, so I'm going to draw a card. I don't know how this person's going to factor into it, but we'll see in a minute. Okay, they will reward me 8 of spades. They will reward me with a potion, and I'll see what kind of potion it is. So I think they're going to get caught in a trap, and the person is going to free them on the condition they get find something. I don't know what it's going to be. This is the problem, you see. This is whenever I pitch anything to it. I'm not going to do the Netflix gag, but it's true. Sometimes I'll speak to someone and I want to pitch a project to them, and I pitch a project, and I'm like, yeah, and it's like something happens with this and that, and they'll go, yeah, what? And I'll say, yeah, and it's like that and stuff, and then they go, are you a twannock? And I'll say, how dare you? And then I leave, and that's why I'm not a millionaire. Because I've got the ideas in my head, they're just not realised yet. Anyway, so, what I've written here, they're going to find a small building constructed from the same stone as the rook. Inside is going to be something cluey. It's the rook he's looking for. Caught in a trap, the person is going to free them on the condition they find something. There we go. So, there we go. Are you excited? Very exciting. Slightly shorter episode today, but, I've run out of steam. I don't know what to talk about, and I haven't had to do lots of mechanical stuff because it's quite a simple one today. But anyway, so yeah. So, as I say every week, thank you so much for listening to my show. Without wanting to be a soppy twat, it is true that, you start something, you throw it into the ether, and you never expect people to listen to it, but you lot keep coming back every fortnight for this, and I don't know whether you listen to the rest of the stuff on the channel, but thank you anyway so much for listening. If you could tell your friends, that would be amazing. I would love, more and more people to listen to this, because I think it's pretty good, and I enjoy doing it a lot. And also, if you really like it, got to do the shill, haven't you? If you really like it, you can go to patreon.com/5G4D and pledge to the show. So thank you very much for listening. And I hope you have a lovely week. And it just remains for me to say, I'm going to go and write it. Chapter 7. There'll come a time, little Jayne, when I'll be gone. I know you'll be sad, but I don't want you to mope. I don't have truck with none of that religious nonsense. To know I'll be helping the plants to grow is good enough for me. When I'm gone, you stick me in the ground and find your own life. It's yours. And if you don't take it, some lord or priest will take it for you, and then you'll be lost. I let her down, my grandmother. After she died, I was inconsolable for weeks, walking around with me head in the soil, barely lifting it up to look at the world. I had the luxury, you see. I had a warm bed and a full belly and loving parent who'd make sure I was all right. She would have shook her head to see me then. I hope she would have been proud of me now, though. We lay Ronald down on the ground. He was pale but breathing. I put the thought of the man I'd killed behind me. I didn't mope, and I set myself to the task of reviving my friend. So strange that, to call a man I'd barely met a few hours ago a friend. But I felt that I'd been through the trials of the world with him, and hardship accelerates friendship just as luxury cheapens it. I poured some water on his brow and he started. What in the name of all that is granite is going on? Are you all right, Ronald? Jayne? Is that you, lad? What the bloody hell happened? His eyes creaked open, the white shot through with vivid lines of scarlet. You nearly got eaten by a diabolical machine. It's okay now, though. What happened to our friend with the hut? Light dawned in his eyes. I think the bastard drugged the bloody stew, and he was going to sacrifice you to whatever the god is up here. Little bastard, wait till I get my bloody hands on him. He saw my eyes fall to the floor and read my expression. Well, I'm sure whatever happened to him, he bloody well deserved it. Can you walk? We should get moving. I'm tired of this place. I'll give it a ruddy good go. We walked for hours, and the desolate plain gave way to what looked like pasture land. The lush grass grew waist high, the green so vibrant compared to that blasted land we'd left. Signs of habitation started to spring up. I tell you what, Jayne, I never thought I'd be so happy to see a bloody wooden stile. Ronald had perked up during our walk, the gentle breeze coming off the grass shaking the narcotic effects of the stew off him. He leapt over the stile. There's a stream here. I'm drier than a camel's dry patch. He gulped at the water and I joined him. I'd never drunk anything that tasted so good. It was better than the sneaky pulls I would take from my grandmother's pints of ale as a child. I'm sure she saw me, but never was a child as indulged as I was by that wonderful woman. We walked a little further until over the brow of the hill I saw something that made me freeze solid. Whatever is the matter, Jayne? Ahead of us was a building, ornate in its construction and surrounded by a crystal moat. It wasn't the design of the building that struck me, though. It was the material it was fashioned from, the same valuable stone as the rook I'd been searching for. I have to go in that building, Ronald. I just know that there's an answer in there for me. I understand if you want to go on. I've got no idea what's inside. Well, I've come this far with you, lad, and it's been the most exciting couple of days I've had in ages. Be foolish to stop the party now. I reached into my pack and pulled out the tiara and placed it on my head. I had a feeling I'd be meeting with an emerald rook, and so I would need to speak to it. So it was you who took the bloody tiara. Should have bloody known. Ronald beamed at me. Couldn't have lost out to a better man, Jayne. Hope you're ready for a swim, and I hope there's not too many gribblies in the water. We made our way down to the water. I pulled my hood over my head and Ronald unclipped the sheath of his knife. Just in case I need easy access, lad. We looked into the water. It was clear and looked glacially cold. Thankfully there was nothing swimming around in it. Hope the big monster's not swimming around on the other side of the building, eh? We dove into the moat and the cold robbed me of breath for a second, and I started to sink to the bottom. Ronald grabbed me. "You'll be used to it in a couple of seconds, lad." We swam across the moat and clambered up the bank on the other side. In recollection, a trap could not have been more obvious if it had a sign saying "obvious trap" next to it, but it seemed that learning from mistakes was something for others on quests. For us, it was more of the same. "Should I pull this lever, Jayne?" "Don't see the harm it could do, Ronald." He pulled the lever and we were hoisted up in a giant net. "Oh, sod," said Ronald. "At least I've had the practice, Jayne, so I know how to lie in these bloody things without getting a crooked neck." After a couple of minutes, a small wizened man emerged from the building. "So, come to steal my stuff then?" "No, sir, we merely came to ask you questions." "What could you possibly want to know from me?" "I see your building is fashioned from the emerald stone, sir, and I wish to know more about it." He reached into the net and pulled my hood back. He gasped when he saw the tiara. "Where did you get that?" "No, I came across it on my journey, sir. I seek an emerald rook, and it said this will help me to communicate with it." "It will. I wish to have that tiara, and I assume you wish to live. Give it to me, and I'll let you go, and we'll forget this meeting ever happened." He reached for it, and I snatched it off my head and thrust it in my pack. "Well, if that's how you wish to be, I'll just have to take it, but I'm a fair man. I'll give you some time to think it over before I slice you from arse to neck. I'll give you an hour to decide. I'll leave my friend here to stand guard." Around the corner strode the rook I'd been looking for. It had clearly taken a beating as gouges had been ripped from its flanks. "Stay here, you beast." The old man pulled out a whip with large metal spikes riveted into the leather and gave the rook 2 efficient licks. "If they try to escape, stamp on them." "You know, I've no idea if this bloody thing understands a word I'm saying, but the whip seems to keep it in check." "1 hour then." He turned on his heels and walked into the building. I retrieved the tiara from my pack and heard the rook speak, in a voice that was unmistakably my grandmother's. "Bloody hell, Jayne! What pickle have you got yourself into now then?"